They're all the cool cars. I don't see any Toyotas herself. Oh, he's bringing something back. So this is a car we don't see every day anyway. These cars are rare to start with, let alone one that runs, and let alone one that runs and has an awesome engine. All right, this video is the week of Christmas. Made it Saturday, and we drove 1,100 miles in one day to go see something. And let's just say it turned out to be an epic failure. It also turned out to be a really cool ending. So I hope you'll stay till the end of this. And I just want to say thank you. We are coming up on our first year anniversary of being on YouTube, and I couldn't have done it without all you guys. So if you want to watch, you'll see how we do these things that turn into 15-minute videos and what an epic failure actually looks like. And believe me, driving 1,100 miles for this was, I don't know. You guys tell me at the end of the day if it's an epic failure. So there you go. Anyway, stay tuned, watch. There's a big surprise at the end. Because if there wasn't a surprise at the end, it probably wouldn't be the end. But there is a surprise there. You'll really enjoy it, I think. And thank you guys for watching. Have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever else you celebrate. I celebrate Christmas. I say Merry Christmas. And please keep watching. Please subscribe if you like this thing. And so here we go. This is the start of our epic Saturday, the week before Christmas trip. 1,100 miles to failure. So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. All right, guys, so I-75 is right over there. So I-75 is right over there. It's like 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday. I am in Fort Myers, Florida. We are leaving to head about 600 miles up to Georgia. And we're gonna go basically across the state line. I think it's Adele or Tifton. And then we're gonna turn left and go to towards Alabama, and somewhere on this highway, I think it's either 82 or 84, I'll figure it out when I get up there, there is a scrapyard with a ton of old cars. So we're gonna go there. That's our goal. And then once we get done shooting there, which hopefully we'll be there in about 5.5 hours, which will be about 1 o'clock, we'll do that. Then we're gonna turn around, come back down, hopefully stop in Lake City. There's a junkyard there, and then we're gonna stop at a couple classic car junkyards and stuff here in North Florida and around South Georgia. So that's our 3-day trip. I hope you come along, and so there you go. So I'm gonna fill up some gas, get a couple cold drinks, and then we're just gonna jump on the road. See you shortly. So I'm looking at our little fuel mileage thingy there, and it says 24 miles a gallon. I reset it, so 23 to 24 miles a gallon on average, which is actually now going down. Oh, because we're going up a hill. I have it on cruise control. All the way down to 22. Whoop, now we're up to 28. Because, anyway, but I was looking and I couldn't figure out why when I go to my fuel, the tank, is only at 3/4 of a tank because I just put in $35. And then I realized, yeah, because when we were on our trips earlier, like back in March, gas didn't cost twice as much. So so now it basically costs a lot more. So it's actually going to cost me more in gas than it will to stay at hotels the next 2 days, which is kind of odd. But it is what it is. You know, to put the channel together, I got to travel. So that's part of the deal. Anyway, yeah, so we're getting about 24 miles a gallon, and we've got 233 miles to empty, which my bladder has a lot less than 233 miles to empty, I can tell you that much, especially drinking coffee this morning. So we are passing right over there. That would be if you were going to Cletus McFarland's Fun Factory. That's where you would go. And actually, in fact, Vice Grip Garage, those guys just left there with an AMC Rebel, mid-engine Rebel. He just posted that yesterday. So if you haven't checked that video out, I would definitely check out that video. But yep, we're right where the Fun Factory and all of Cletus McFarland is, and all the burnout contests and such up here in the Bradenton, Sarasota area. Hey guys, so I'm over here in, wow man, everybody's got their radios and crap on.
What can help you take advantage of today's Walmart and trade and save money? You can save hundreds of dollars every month.
I can't, this guy, these people left their car on with their radio so loud that I can't even, I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, because I can't hear myself. They pulled up to the gas, instead of pulling to the gas pump, they just pulled up and they're just leaving their car running. Anyway, I'm in Gainesville right now and we're filling up. So we got here in record time. So it normally takes about 4 hours. It took 3.5 hours this time to get here. And so we've got another 50 miles to I-10. And then after that, we've got about an hour and a half into Georgia. Then we're just gonna start driving. Like I said, we're gonna start looking for this old car place, and then we'll just drive some back roads for the day and see if we find anything. So that's what we're doing. All right, guys, see you in a bit. It still sucks that $30 gives me half a tank on my truck. All right, so we're heading north here to Lake City. right, so I just went through the drive-through of the Golden Arches, and even since high school, whenever I would go through, what I do is I order either a double cheeseburger or now the McDouble is what they call it. And I tell them that instead of ketchup and mustard, I want Big Mac sauce on it. And it used to be free, now they charge you 50 cents a burger for it, which I'm fine with. And the reason I do that is because I always find out that they put way too much ketchup on their double cheeseburgers, and it always drips on my shirt when I'm driving. Never fails. So if I'm driving, it will drip on my shirt. So this way, I don't have the ketchup to worry about, and I've never had them put too much Mac sauce on. Except the McDonald's I just went to, they had a problem understanding it, so they put ketchup, mustard, and the Mac sauce on. So it was kind of a gooey, not the best tasting in the world. But do I go back? No. Ooh, look at this. Look what's on that. That's a really, really nice, that's a really nice four-door, I look like a 65 Impala on that trailer. Up to I-10, Interstate 10, where it crosses I-75, and we made it here. We left this morning from Fort Myers at around 7:30. It's now 11:30 in the morning. So we have gone, let me check out, we have gone 301 miles. No, that can't be right. Yeah, 301 miles in 4 hours. Well, I mean, that's probably right. We were doing 75 to 80 the whole way with no real hiccups, except stop for gas and that 10-minute Golden Arches fiasco. So anyway, we're getting ready to head to Valdosta, Georgia, and then turn left. That's where we'll go, and we'll see if we can find this scrap place that I was told about, and if not, we'll find other places, we'll find other things. Anyway, that's what we're doing. So this all started when I went down to Island Auto, the place down in Marco Island that we did the video about, and the gentleman who owns Island Auto, he said, hey, when they were up here on their way to Alabama, they got off I-75 and they saw a bunch of old cars lining the road and a big sign that said scrap metal, but he couldn't remember what exit or what road it was. We're in Georgia, and I drove up here today, left about 5 hours ago, and we're in Georgia, and I'm stopping at the Georgia Welcome Center to see if they can help me figure out maybe where this is. So we're going to go into the Welcome Center here in about an exit or so, and then hopefully maybe somebody knows something about this. Hey guys, so we're just getting into Georgia. It's about noon, and when you own a YouTube channel and you're traveling around the country trying to find places, all I know is this junkyard that we're going to is somewhere off of 75 between here and Adel. And so I'm gonna go in here and see if the people that work here can help me out. So we're gonna come right in here. So one of the things is you've got to ask directions when you're traveling around the country, because GPS doesn't show where a bunch of old cars are. Anyway, so I'm gonna come in here and we're going to talk to the people who work here. This is Valdosta, Georgia Welcome Center. I was in here earlier. I have to use the bathroom, and these are ladies that work here. What's your first names?
Brandy.
So I got Brandy,
Carrie,
and Carrie.
Yep.
And so Brandy lives here, and when I started describing where I was trying to find, she's like, oh, my husband would know.
Yep.
And that was about 15 minutes ago. And 15 minutes ago, she got her husband on the phone, and while we were searching, he's calling, I guess, or scrambling to get all his people and figure stuff out. And with the only description being, it's a road off I-75 that goes to Alabama, and there's a sign that says scrapyard and old cars. Within 15 minutes, your husband, what's his first name?
Robbie.
Robbie. So if you're watching the channel, Robbie, we were listening.
Yep.
But don't have a picture of you. So Robbie had friends and friends and friends, and we are here. We're right here at Valdosta, right? Mm-hmm. So we're here in this I-75, and we found out it's in Pullen.
It's
Yep.
an hour and 7 minutes from here.
It's an hour and 7 minutes to here, which would have taken me 4.5 hours of driving around the back roads of Georgia
Yep.
to find it, if I did find it all, because I was going to go up this road, which is to Moultrie, but I think we'll go here. Now, you guys said there's also in Moultrie, there's
It's like a U-pick.
a little U-pick there.
Like a U-pick type place. Mm-hmm.
So we'll probably go here, and then tomorrow, I don't know if there's hotels here. I know there'll be hotels in this area.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So, because we've stayed here before, guys.
Yes.
So what we'll do is we'll go here, do this today, and depending on if they let us in and all the other stuff, then we'll shoot down here to Moultrie, and we'll do that. And then we're going to go back down here. And you guys have been to Old Town in North Florida, and there's a place next to Old Town we're going to go to that we've actually not visited twice. So I want to say thank you, girl.
All right, no
Thank you for
problem.
everything. Thank your husband
Yeah,
for
yeah,
us.
will do.
And big shout out to, this is called Southern Hospitality. I can tell you right now, and you all know who you are. You all know that this doesn't happen. If I was in New York City and asked for directions, I'd come out and my camera would be gone, my car would be gone, and they'd be handing me a map and going, here, go find your way back to Florida. So,
Yep.
but anyway, this is the difference. This is Southern Hospitality. I lived in Georgia for a long time. I worked at WMAZ,
Okay.
which is up in Macon years ago.
Okay.
And so this is why most of my channel is in the South. Because if you can't find it, you can stop, knock on a door or something else. Everybody's happy to help.
Yep.
All right, so we're on our way. We're an hour and 10 minutes away from our goal.
All right.
All right, guys, so we are on our way to Pullen, which is off of State Road 82. We're on I-75. We're on I-75 now. We're going to go to Tifton and then turn left, and then we're going to be heading about, hopefully about 10 to 15 miles, and that'll take us to Pullen. And this bus is doing something. I'm not sure what this bus is doing here. All right, we're on State Road 82. I'm sorry, US 82, State Road 520 in Tifton. So now we're just gonna drive west until we see a bunch of old cars. I will tell you one thing, it's starting to cloud up. Now, it's 80 degrees here right now, and this is the week of Christmas, and it's 80 degrees. Whoa, there's the cotton. If you've never seen Georgia cotton plants, that's a Georgia cotton plant right there. It's Georgia cotton. But we do have some clouds coming in. It's sunny, but it's also cloudy. So it's sunny and it's cloudy. So I'm hoping it stays sunny, because and I don't mind cloudy, but rainy's gonna suck. So I hope we get here, and I hope it comes up soon, so that way we can get in there before it gets rainy. looks like this was where all the old cars are, or were, and it looks like they're cleaning it all up. So we're gonna pull in here to the scrap metal place here and just see if this is what's going on. So I'm just gonna pull in here because there's all kinds of stuff around here. Let's go up here and take a look. Hey guys, so I made it, and it was a place called We Buy Scrap ACS, and it's outside of Tifton in a place called Bowen. I met a gentleman here who works here, and it's a Saturday, and I am one day too late. They decided, as you can see by all the freshly graded land, they had their grand opening for their new pull-it place yesterday. So there was, up until recently, all this graded area, and we're gonna take a walk down and I'll show you. There's still a pile or two of cars there. We're not gonna be able to go in them because it is closed. It's the week before Christmas and it's a Saturday, and I'm sure everybody's out. And I caught this gentleman here just pulling out in his big truck, and he was nice enough to stop, and he's the one that explained to me that they just had their grand opening. So I'm just going to spend about 5 minutes here, but on the way here up the street there was a whole house full of plastic street rods and all in a house, and then on another side I saw a rundown house that had at least 2 or 3 of the old Ford Bronco 2s sitting there. So we're gonna stop there, see if somebody's home, stop the other place. But I'm gonna just go do a quick walk. I'm gonna get a hold of the owner. We're gonna see if when they open, when they're gonna start this thing. We'll put it up on the channel. So if you're in South Georgia, North Florida, and you need parts, now did they crush a lot of the old cars?
Well, we crush cars, period, but
Right.
we're gonna save the old ones.
Like the old ones. That's what we're worried about. We don't care about Toyota Corolla. So, but if they have the older stuff that they know is worth money for parts that people are going to get, there should be some here. I'll put the phone number in the description if the owner wants, and that way you guys can reach out. I don't know if they have a website or not, but I'll find that stuff out. If you do, you'll see it all in the description, and like we normally do. So and hopefully if you guys need something or whatever and they have it, you'll be able to get it. Okay, so this is some of the newer stuff, and we're going to kind of bypass the new stuff here. As you can see over there, they've brought a lot of the stuff. A lot of the stuff over there is new. Ricky says the stuff here is older, kind of like, I guess, this truck here. And he said we could go in here. So he said watch out for snakes. So we are going to watch out for snakes. Oh, check that out. Somebody made a scorpion out of metal. Hello? Anyway, he said to come down here and check out this bus. So this is a real scrap yard, and as I say, he told us to come down here and we could kind of just look. I mean, there's all kinds of, they haven't cleaned any of this. This is just a crazy yard. I don't know what's back here. He said to come near these old buses. I mean, there's everything here. Wow. ATVs. city buses. Lots of ATVs, city buses, whole bunch of pickup trucks over there. The old Meth Lab 101 Winnebago. There's an old, is that a Gremlin? That looks like an old Gremlin. So there's a couple square body pickup trucks, Corolla, Ford. Actually, here's one of each. That's a Dodge. Here's an old food truck. Bunch of old four-wheelers. Crazy. I always wondered how, like, when you come to scrapyards and you see something like that axle up on top of the bus, like, how, why? Oh yeah, there's some old trucks here. And we're watch for snakes, which, being from Florida, very familiar. How many times have you guys heard me talk about them? So that's a really cool old Chevy there. Here's a couple trucks. What's that one? Is that a 68? Wow, 68 GMC. I think it's a 68 GMC, but step side. Fifth wheel here. Just a bunch of scrap. Old Army trailer there. Walk down here a little bit. Oh yeah, there's a lot of old stuff here that they're going to be saving. You've got old Buicks here, Oldsmobile, of course the Corvair that I always talk about that you have to have. Now, this is a real mixed bag though. Volkswagens, Carmen Gias, love buses over there. Tractor trailers. So we're not really gonna walk off the given path. Here's an old Army truck. Check that out. Looks like it was shot through the side there. We've got Camaros and buses and boats and tractor trailers. Way back here, tons and tons of old trucks. A lot of old trucks there. Now check this out. They used a car trailer to make a bridge over this. I'm not going over that bridge, but even 57 Chevys, 55 Chevys over there. Old tour buses down here. Let's take a quick walk. And by the way, if I did not get permission from Ricky to be here, then I would not be doing this, because I don't go on properties unless someone there gives me the okay. But tons of square body, tons of pickup trucks, a lot of square bodies, tons of pickup trucks. There's even more, but it's on the other side of this lake thing. There's an old tour bus, old General Motors tour bus. Let's see. I always say I'm going to change my sneakers, and I never do. South Carolina Coach, SC Coach. There's a Tornado over there. That looks like a four-door Nova. As I said, there's a lot of stuff here, but a ton of it has been cleared out. We're gonna walk down to the front. That's a really cool, is that a Tornado or a Cadillac? I think that's actually a Cadillac Eldorado. I always get those two mixed up. They look very similar. That looks like a military trailer, work trailer, another military work trailer. A lot of scrap. I'll keep walking here. Tons of pickup trucks, which we're in rural Georgia, so that's not to be unexpected. All right. But as you can see, they've cleared a lot, and they're gonna have a U-Pull-It here, Cadillac, and it just sucks sometimes. You know, they just had their grand opening yesterday. I just heard about this 2 weeks ago, and this is the first time I've been able to drive here. So we're doing the best we can, folks. Crane trucks, car carriers, trailers. Look down here. Oh. Old Lincoln Town Car. What's that? Looks like a Monte Carlo. Yeah, I believe that's a Monte Carlo. RT something. RT Charger, but that's a two-door. You know, they started clearing this thing 2 weeks ago, and I just found out about it 3 weeks ago. And sometimes you just can't get to where it is. I'm lucky we found it, because obviously all the cars are not there. You know, I mean, my description of, hey, a whole bunch of cars, and those cars aren't even there. So let's take a quick look in here. I already see a Falcon. So you've got, there's an International Scout. We've got a Ford Falcon there. We've got an old Dodge over there. Another old Dodge convertible. That's a, oh, that's just like that red one that we saw way over there. So that's a Dodge convertible. And then you got some 80s stuff going on here. I think that's a Rampage. Is that like a Dodge Rampage right there? Old Coca-Cola trucks back there. So you know, there's a lot of stuff that's here. There's a lot of stuff that's not here. Wrecker front ends and such. So is that a four-door Falcon or a two-door Falcon right there? Four-door. So and you know, we were way over there where that camper is and the bus and stuff, but there's a big pond that you don't see. It's right behind that convertible over there. Now, that convertible is similar to the one that we saw that has been completely reconditioned. I don't know if that has the triple stick thing in it or the dual stick in it. I wish I could go over and look, but I just can't. So we're gonna get back on the highway. We're gonna head back towards Tifton. You know, sometimes finding out that a place is no longer what it was is also a discovery. I'll bite a sour one, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, there's still a lot of cool cars here, and and when you look way over there, they are saving a lot, but they're crushing a lot. There's no one here. We can't go way back over there, and I wish we could, but we can't. So all right, so let's go check this house out up here that I saw that had a whole bunch of stuff, and then I saw a whole bunch of street rods at somebody's house. We're definitely stopping there. So I saw this old what is it, Bronco 2 sitting there 3/4 of the way buried. Doesn't look like it's moved in a while, but I don't see anybody home, and I don't want to just walk around someone's property. So we'll continue on back to town where I saw the really, really cool stuff. I saw this on the way to the junkyard that we were just at, and it looks pretty interesting. So we're going to turn here. It's a little house enclave, and let's see, it's got a Chevy step side for sale. There's all kinds of cars and stuff there. I'm not sure how to get in there. Let's go around here real quick. We're just gonna go around this neighborhood because I do want to get over there, and I guess I'm going. Wow, they got all kinds of stuff there. They got first generation Camaro. Like, actually, there's a guy on a porch. Let me stop and talk to him real quick. So guys, I'm up here in South Georgia, and we looked at that junkyard, which was after driving 8 hours to see a field that was plowed. Luckily, Ricky down there, the driver, let us in, and we did see some stuff. Now on the way back, I saw that square body, and we saw a couple look like street rods, old 30s or 40 bodies there that were brightly painted. We did this U-turn, and it just seems like a whole neighborhood full of hot rodders from the 1980s. So I thought, well, let me stop and ask, because I saw some first generation Camaros. I saw a really cool station wagon all. And I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna knock on some doors, see if I can talk to somebody about them. But I'm gonna see if we can get some close-ups of a couple cars for here that are cool, that you guys like. Then you know, we'll put some on, and that's just how we do things. So give me a second, let me go talk and see if I can find somebody here to talk to me about it, and then if we do, then I'll throw some cars on. So this looks like old school, like 80s, like fat tires.
It's a 78 Malibu.
Well, I mean, just the way you have it set up with the rake, it's you got the like M50s things in the back and stuff. So what are we going? Is it just something that's a toy that you're playing with and just working on here and there, or
well, it started out being.
It looks like it's a track car with the cage and everything.
Oh no, it's a street car.
Oh, okay. So you're making like a pro street.
I can get in it and drive it wherever I want to go.
Well, that's what I mean. But I mean,
yeah.
the idea behind it is pro street.
It was a race car.
Oh, okay.
I bought it from my friend. He put the cage and all in it, and I finally got it from him after about 5 years. So
Asking?
yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be the way with everything. So this has a full B&M slap shifter in there, right? So yeah, this definitely strip car. So you're going for the take a strip and just gonna kind of make it into, like I said, a pro street or whatever.
It runs.
I mean, it runs,
yeah.
but I'm saying that's the idea of it, or you just kind of keeping it like this.
Yeah,
like kind of sleeper.
I'm trying to find a bench seat to put back in the front.
Oh, okay.
But
So
as far as motor wise and all, it's pretty much about where I want it. So I just got to start.
Now, did you build the motor?
Yeah, me and Dallas.
Oh, okay. What do you kind of see the motor? I don't know. Sometimes guys with strip cars, they don't want to show the motors.
It don't make me no never mind.
So what do you?
It's funny if somebody gets outrun. They're like, oh man, it's.
So what do you got under the hood then?
It's just a 355 aluminum head 355.
Okay. What kind of cam and stuff like that in it?
It's got a Lenati cam. I'm not 110% sure of the size.
Okay.
It's been a while since we built it, but just I mean, you got
turbo 400 tranny or turbo
350.
Turbo 350.
It's stock bottom end, camshaft, aluminum heads.
Okay, electric fan obviously. And is it disc brakes on the front now? They're not wheelward or anything? You don't even have power brakes on this thing. So you don't care about
manual steering box and all.
You don't care about stopping. You just want to be going.
Brakes are for people who want to stop anyway.
So brakes are for the guy in second, so he doesn't hit the guy that beat him, right?
That's right.
So now, do you plan on putting any of the stuff in here or not really? Any fender wells or anything?
I'm trying to find everything. I want it to be. I mean, I want to put the AC box and all back on.
Okay.
But these cars right here.
This is really light in the front. These.
Yeah, it weighs. I think it weighs about like 3,200 pounds.
Yeah, I mean these were really popular for strip cars.
The round track boys got a hold of them.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find parts for them unless you buy them brand new.
And it's got a posi to have a posi in it. I know a lot of them didn't come with them, but
nah, it's still got the 7.5 up under it.
And what gears are running? 356s?
These are
411. 411. Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's about a 55 mile an hour speed limit on it.
Well, it's definitely that toy. I mean, it's waiting to get done. So you got the important stuff done.
I worked on it for a while and then I quit it. Something made me mad. Now the other day I was driving it and broke the studs, rolled the quarter panel back up. So yeah, I just let it sit. As long as it sits, I don't have to worry about spending money on it.
It looks pretty straight though. I mean,
it was took to the bare metal before it was primed.
That's what I'm saying. It don't look like the body's complete. So
I got all the chrome for it.
It's just a work in progress.
I grew up around people older than me, so I kind of, that's what I stick with.
Okay.
A lot of people go with the LS motors and all that, and you see I got a little mid-taking carburetor.
Old school, man. Hey guys, so we're here with a gentleman named Dallas Tifton. I used to live up in Macon. I used to work at Channel 13 there, but that was like about a lifetime ago, back in the 90s. But I just happened to drive by. I saw at the front of the house, we're not in the front of the house, some really nice cool hot rods. So then I came around, met one of his neighbors, which I think is a relative. He's close. Or he says he's a relative. And then he said, I looked over here and I saw a first generation Camaro race car. I see a Nova race car. Saw a nice Chevy 2 over there behind the house. We got everything here is race cars. Every car you see here. This looks like somebody's garage in 1989 when I was a kid, where they're all the cool cars. I don't see any Toyotas herself. Oh, he's bringing something back. So this is a car we don't see every day anyway. These cars are rare to start with, let alone one that runs, and let alone one that runs and has an awesome engine. Oops, don't hit the side. make the body? Did you make this body?
Nope.
I have never seen a convertible.
It's actually all steel.
It's steel.
It's been stretched 9 inches. It's a double frame rail car, 4-link.
Did you build it?
No.
Okay.
Nope. This car come out of South Florida. Originally had a 434 with a Lenco in it, and we put a small block with a power glide and just been bracket racing it. Runs like 640s, 630s on a good tune.
Man, that thing is, I'll be honest with you, even seeing the taillights in that, this is unexpected. This is, I don't think I've ever seen somebody would take the top off one. Even in a funny car or pro stock or anything. Dang.
And it's still street legal.
Is it really?
Yes, sir.
So you got lights and all. Well, I saw the lights. You had the LEDs in there?
Lights, everything worked. That car's still street legal. That one's still street legal, but I don't have a tag on it at the moment.
Dang. Now, did you bought this as is, or did you build this part? Or you play with this?
But we changed everything. I've changed the engine and transmission combo. When we bought this car, it had a little Saginaw 4-speed in it.
Okay.
And we run it about 3 times at the track with that, and it had to go. It wasn't consistent. We put a glide in it, foot braked it for a while, run some no box stuff around here, run some of the SFG events.
Okay.
You know, $20,000–$30,000 races.
Oh yeah.
Went several rounds, but it's a fun toy. This combo here, race gas. The previous combo, it was a pump gas engine. The engine that's getting ready to go in it is a new pump gas setup.
Well, now I can see why you were saying this is the car everybody wants to see, because
this car has been the guy from Toy Makers and a few others. When we were at Lights Out 2 years ago, they come over and we were parked on the back side of the roundy round, and they had to come around and get pictures of it.
And it's all steel. It's crazy.
All steel except for the hood and the little bitty deck lid.
Right.
Everything else is steel, real metal. And actually under the car, you can see where they split the fender.
Right.
Added to it, moved it out. It's pretty neat.
Oh, it is. It's got a really cool stance to it.
Yep.
So.
Car works real good.
Oh, I bet.
And it's like driving a Cadillac.
I mean
640s at 105 or so, and it's just put a pinky on the wheel and drive it. So you don't have to.
And the nice thing is, because it probably generates a ton of heat, that without the roof, it's really nice. It's not that bad.
It doesn't generate much heat.
So.
Yep. The small block pump gas motor we had in it you could cruise around in the summertime, and you know how it gets down here in the summer.
Right.
190 degrees all
Yep.
day long, running 60 miles an hour. So, but it's neat. It turns a lot of heads. NHRA tech guys don't like it that much,
but it passes. Depending on the person.
Depending on the race.
Depends
we
on
went to Lights Out and several of the bracket races around here. 640s, no problem. You got arm restraints and everything.
Right.
We went to bracket finals in Commerce for the last race, and they said, oh, you can only dial 7 flat and slower.
Really?
Because they need to add some to the cage.
Gotcha.
So originally the car had a full cage from the bars went all the way back to here, but they cut them out.
Right.
The guy we got it from was a fairly hefty guy, and he had problems getting in and out of it, which is why we ended up with it. Actually, my buddy that owns the car, he swapped a 40 Econoline truck with a 347 stroker in it for this car.
Huh. Well, it's definitely cool. I mean, it's definitely cool. So this is so neat. I will tell you right now, I have never seen one of these ever.
You'll probably never see another one.
Probably never see another one. But I mean, I was saying just the fact that it was a Mustang 2.
Yep.
Then Mustang 2 stretched, Mustang 2 convertible.
Most of the time, most people don't know what it is until they stop and look at it and then walk around it about 3 times, and then they go, oh, it's a Mustang 2.
Yeah.
You know, or they go, what is it?
Yeah.
So.
Well, dang, this was worth the 8-hour drive from Fort Myers. I'm serious. This is worth an 8-hour drive from Fort Myers.
The 4-door there, which they don't notice it until they really get up on it. That belongs to my daughter. Built it for her. She goes to her first race with it. I'm riding with her, of course. And,
right.
she ends up winning the race.
Nice.
Yeah, and in sportsman, of course, but still, she's won 2 races with it and runnered up in a Wally race
Right.
with the same car. So
Well, and I'm 55. You may be within 10 years of me,
Yeah.
one way or the other. But it's funny because back in the day, in the 80s, you couldn't give away a 4-door
Yep.
anything.
Believe it or not, I traded a 3rd gen Camaro back for this car.
I believe it, because nowadays, number one, you can't find them. Number two, they are excellent race cars. I mean, as far as quarter mile,
When we
because
say
they are
street
set
car,
up.
let me put the key in the buzzer.
So
The
you
door
got.
buzzer still works.
So this is a street. This
It
is
is
basically
a-
what we all had in the 80s, where we raced it on the weekends, drove it to school during the week.
This car runs 750s, pump gas, don't matter, 87, 93. It's a fun car. This is one of those when I don't want to really do a lot of work.
Right.
I take this car racing because
You just want to go
you
have a
show
race
up, you
day.
put gas in it, you show up and go race. Alternator. It's just like all the rest of my bracket cars. Every one of them's got an alternator on it.
And you even got the old bumper bars underneath the
Yeah.
back, which everybody, I haven't really even seen them. Even old school now, everybody does either ladder bars. Nobody
Ladder
does
bars
the old
or
bumper.
cow tracks.
Yeah, they don't do the bumper bars. Everybody had those on, especially on Camaros, Novas, Chevelles back in the
We
day.
run this thing mostly in the street class, like quarter mile stuff.
What's it got, like 411s in it?
411s. That's a 28x9 pro bracket radial. With the slapper bars, 162, 163, 60 foot all day long.
And you did, and with the Nova, I mean, I don't know if you did, but most time you don't have to put any, you don't have to do anything, putting any tubs or nothing. And you can put a tire on this
The only thing
bit,
I've done is massage the
the lip.
on the quarter.
Yeah.
It clears everywhere else. We had a 275/60 Hoosier on the car. I like the way it looked better. It was a little flatter,
Right.
and it looked a little better. This tire here, it's beginning to grow on me. I'm liking it. It works real good.
And that's a street strip one, right?
Yep.
Street strip slick. So very cool.
I don't recommend driving on the street, but you can.
Not in the rain.
Not in the rain. Definitely not in the rain.
Well, that's why I said the one thing I noticed about the gentleman over there in the corner on his is the setups are like something that appeals to me. I'm not the setups with the fat tires in the back and the skinny ones in the front. I mean, that's how I grew up. Excuse me, I'm swallowing a bug.
There's plenty of them out here.
Yeah, so that's appealing to me. It's appealing to most of the guys that watch our channel, because most of my guys are,
Well,
you
that's why I
know.
keep mine that look more streetable.
Yeah.
Like, every one of my cars, the headlights, brake lights, everything works. This car, brake
Yeah.
lights, everything works. It's got not full exhaust, but it's got quiet exhaust on it.
And is that's a fiberglass hood, or
Nope,
just,
it's
or did
steel-
you
it's
just put the
steel hood.
fiberglass
Yep,
scoop on
Yep,
it?
it was a steel hood.
Oh, that's a Chevy too. That's not even the
It's
Nova.
a 68 Chevy too.
So it's a
correct.
Chevy too.
Right. And
So-
this car's been a race car since 1971.
Really?
Yep. This car was ran in modified production up until the end of the class. It's won a Division
68,
68,
68, yeah.
68.
No vents and
Yep.
front.
It's won a Division II championship. It's been everything from no box bracket car to running super street, which is what we run it in.
Right.
We like to run a lot of 7.0 stuff. I put a throttle stop on it, slow it down for 7.0.
But I'm noticing it's got headlights and everything else,
Headlights.
and a tag.
And a tag. And
So you could drive this on the
Yep.
street too.
it's actually an original 68 tag that I had set up to where we can, that it's legal.
And this ain't no trailer queen.
No, no. It gets drove a lot, and it used to see some street action, but it doesn't see any anymore.
And it's got a fuel cell in the back now?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's got an 8-gallon cell, so I can drive it anywhere we want to. It's got 471 gear, but with that 31-inch tall tire, you don't notice it.
And one of the things it has that a lot of people don't do is you've got the Mylar on the instead of the glass back there.
It will have glass back in. This car belonged to my father-in-law. When he passed away, we finished it up in 6 weeks. It was a shell. And when I say a shell, it had no floor pans, no diff, no motor transmission, no wiring, nothing. We had them.
Now, you said it was a race car, but so did he race
was a
it and
race
it was just
car.
taken apart at that
It was a
point?
race car. He bought it, tore it apart, It sat for 7 years, empty.
Wow.
When he passed away, we decided to do a memorial race at US 19 Dragway in Albany.
Okay.
I told him right then, I said, that car will be there. And we actually assembled the car in 6 weeks.
Wow.
From front to back, and it made passes. It was not raceable, but it did drive down the track under its own power.
It made it.
Right. So, you know.
What's it got, a 9-inch rear?
It's got a 9-inch.
Okay.
Yep. And I've kept this car to where I've got spare doors for it. I've got some new steel doors.
So if you want to, you could
back
pop
street.
it back
Yep.
street.
When we get through, or I build a different race car,
Right.
this one will be put back on the street. My wife will drive it, and I mean, it's still, the hood is, it's on hinges. Everything works.
And is that real steel?
No, it's
oh, okay,
glass.
it's glass.
It's glass.
That's all right. There's not a whole lot of cow induction real ones around.
No.
Even everybody who redoes them, for the most part, uses
I
glass.
actually bought this hood from a friend of mine that took this one off and put a NOS
Right.
cow back on his one he bought. That was an original GM stamping.
So this is, it's been completely
yeah.
reinforced.
Yeah,
This is.
It's a full cage in this car. We're running super street. We're running 1090s at 140.
and no power brakes.
No, I want manual brakes
So,
in a race car. Well, the motor doesn't create enough vacuum
right
for the power brake.
For the power brakes to work. So did you guys do all this?
I did all of this.
Put the front suspension on?
I did the front half. This car actually, as it was running modified production, they used to stagger the front end so they could get a running start at the tree.
Right.
Your reaction times weren't as important back then, so you were all about records.
Right.
So when we got the car and started building it to race, it didn't drive real good. And I kept having issues with lights and stuff, and got to noticing that the control arms were moving. So I bought some tubular control arms and put under it, and that fixed 90% of the problem, but then we noticed the car was still staggered. All right.
So they staggered it so that they could pull up to the lights, and that wouldn't break the beam.
It wouldn't break the beam till you got to the back of that tire.
Right.
And they always wanted that side further back because it's going to lift this side.
Right.
With the torque of the engine. So they get it adjusted to where this side, you get a running start at the tree, you get a faster ET.
Right.
You know, for us, now reaction time is so important in most of these races, you can't give anything up.
Right.
You know, and I found another front clip from a gentleman here locally, and I drug it out of the woods, sanded it down to the bare metal, went back in and put POR 15 on it. I cut the center out and put tubular bars in it to where I could get the pan on and off if need be.
Right.
And we run a diaper because the NHRA requires you to run a diaper.
Right. So you don't drip nothing.
It makes it easier to put a diaper on and off without the factory center part of it.
Yeah.
I cut it out, put bars in it, tied it all back together. And
so how many horsepower do you think this is running? Just
never been on the dyno. Without the throttle stop, this car will go 10, 10, 10, 15 at 141.
in quarter, right?
In the quarter mile,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so I mean that's
And she's,
that's 500.
it's 29. This car's 2940 with me in it.
Okay, so yeah.
So to run 10, 10, 10, 15 and 640s in good air and 80 miles. And then the best thing is, like I say, my wife enjoys it, so
Yeah.
I keep it to where she can drive. Of course, that's why I have two-car trailers.
Right.
Once we go racing, if I take a car, she takes a car, and my daughter takes a car, and then my buddy takes his car, you know,
Everybody's-
it's better than having 4 trucks and trailers to keep up with.
Yeah.
We got 2 trucks, 2 trailers, and it makes it so much easier on us.
Yeah.
It's not easy on getting in and out of a fuel station, but you know.
Yeah, but I mean, if you race boats, this will hold one boat.
Exactly, exactly.
So,
So,
well,
but
no.
This is a
This is a cool family racing here.
exactly,
So
exactly.
and
Same deal with the Chevy 2. The Chevy 2 was an all-out race car back,
this over there.
Green one.
Okay, yeah.
and when my father-in-law passed away, we ended up a few years later. I ended up buying that from the family,
Okay.
and so that car, actually, believe it or not, I put that car together. We went to our first car show in Valdosta, and a lady and gentleman come up and said, and was looking at the interior, and you know, cars in primer spots,
Right.
and not the nicest looking car out there, and they're all over it taking pictures, and I'm wondering why are they looking at my car, you know. This is our car. I'm like, no ma'am, that's my car. She goes, no, you don't understand.
Like
I still have the material that we done the door panels in my
Oh,
attic.
so
of
they
this car.
customized it and
Right.
just
Her son
recognized
built
it.
the car originally. He lived in Pennsylvania. They were texting him that they had found the car.
Wow.
He actually came, that was in November. December 31st of that year, he come down and he come and looked at the car just so he could get back in touch with the vehicle. And it's fixing to be completely stripped. I've got overdrive
What
transmission
is it,
going.
62?
It's a 64.
64.
Yeah,
Okay.
64. We used to run this car in the street class and in pro.
Okay.
It runs 740s, 750s. Didn't want to put a cage in it, so we
Right.
slowed it down. And I drive it on the street. We used to run a hard tire class here in Valdosta at SGMP, and you had to have a 400 tread wear tire, you know.
Well, I think people are really appreciating these and those Novas there too.
Those are starting to make a real big hit.
They're starting to be really appreciated because the ones, you know, your 68s and all that stuff, so hard to get, and the parts are hard to get too. So these, especially, what's that? Because that's like a 76.
That's a 78.
78.
I've
okay.
owned that car. I bought it from the local racer here. He built a new car, and that car sat for about a year.
Right.
I had broke a rear end in my Malibu, and that car was already narrowed up 9-inch. I've had that car for 25 years now.
Wow.
And everybody can see what they want. And I know bracket racing's not like it used to be, but
And this and that are the only two with crush walls.
yes.
Okay.
I've made house payments with this car. When I was out of work, this car made my house payment.
Well, you can't ask for more than that then.
At one time, you couldn't see out the windows, or the rear windows, because of the money window stickers that used to be on it.
Wow.
Ended up taking them off.
Well, now nobody knows about it, so now you show up and they're like,
it's a
oh.
street car. The street car.
Yeah.
And when we had the radios on it, when the radio racing was real hot and heavy,
Right.
when they first started about 5 or 6 years ago, we had radios on this car, and we were driving it on the street a bunch. And we were running the open comp and 750 index.
Wow.
So, but because she's such a big girl, that's where the name comes from.
Okay. Well, this was when I was up at Dale Earnhart's headquarters, the juniors horse. He has his dad's. It's right in the shop. I took a picture of me in the shop next to his dad's.
Right.
So
I seen that car, I think it was about 6 months ago on Dale's website.
Yep.
You know, and it was like, not everybody knows that he ran one of those cars.
Yeah, he ran for 1 year.
1 year.
As I said, these were appreciated when they first came out, but they had such a short run that nobody really knew about that they've been used for that. So
These cars they're heavy.
yeah.
This car, when I had the motor out of that car in it, and when we had the front end out, and this car's 3280 with me in it.
So that's almost 500 more than that.
Oh yes. All the lights and everything work on this car. The door buzzer still works. Everything's still in it. It has an aluminum dash, but as far as the wiring, every wire that was in it from the factory is still in it. And I went 660s in this car in Montgomery at 103 at 3,280 pounds with me in it. And
now, when did you start? Did your family, obviously your father-in-law had some cars, so did you start racing when you were a kid?
I started in high school.
Oh, okay.
My family dirt track.
Oh,
And,
okay.
I didn't like it. My brother-in-law and my sister, when they went out one weekend, they ended up going to US 19.
Right.
And invited me to go, and I was 13, and ever since then I've been hooked.
Yeah. Well, I told people when I was racing mine, it's like I used to tell families, you want to keep your kids off drugs, put them in the race cars. They'll have no money for drugs.
Yep. I have 3 daughters, and 2 of them race, and 1 of them doesn't want anything to do with it. But my oldest and my youngest, if I'm going racing, they want to go. If they're off work or whatever, they want to go.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like it gets in your blood and lifestyle.
Oh, yeah.
So say if you're in the cars, you're in the cars. I don't. And the nice thing is you never have to grow out of it.
Nope.
So.
Nope. Well, and as you can tell, I have an obsession.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you have a couple.
Even the S10. I mean, it
belongs
to a customer, but it's
This
it's another
truck
one.
here is not obviously used for running around town.
No, it's not going around town. You're not going far with that sail.
Yeah, there ain't no roofing thing on the side of that.
No. So, but it's a grudge truck.
Well,
that's enough info on it.
I so appreciate you
Yes, sir.
talking to us
No
and
problem,
letting
no
us
problem.
visit your family and everything. And you have that Maverick out there. Is that a customer's car as well, or
That belongs to my wife.
okay?
My father-in-law, when he first got into drag racing, we met at the racetrack.
Okay.
So when he first started racing, he had a 76 Maverick. But when he passed away, my nephew ended up with the car. I found this one. A friend of ours that raced with it, I told him I was looking for either a 68 Ford truck
Right.
or I wanted a Maverick.
So
Found that car. That is a one owner, 73,000 mile car. The engine had never been out of it.
wow. And it's a V8.
It's a V8
It's not the
power
straight-
steering, power brake car.
So you're just making it for your wife as if it
My
was
wife
like
will
the
have
grow
it
up
to
car.
drive. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
It will
Nice.
be, I mean, it has a nice set of wheels. It's not going to be an original
No, but it's going
car,
to be.
but it's going to be something she can drive and enjoy. And if she wants to take it to the racetrack,
There you go.
you know, she does it. So she'll
Well, you
enjoy
can
it.
bracket race anything, so.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
I saw somebody bracket race something like my Edge there. They had to tell the lady to turn off her air conditioning
right,
down in
because-
Bradenton because
yep,
she kept
'cause
leaving water.
Leaving water, yep.
But she ended up beating two dragsters and a Pro Street who just couldn't deal with the fact that she was 3/4 of the way down. They all red lighted.
Yep.
Because he just gets,
Oh,
even
yeah.
though you know that you're faster,
Yep,
it's still,
It's hard to do.
it's hard to sit there and
Yep.
just wait.
If
And you
you're
just,
the faster car, it's hard to
Yeah.
do, and if you're the slow car, it's hard to look back there and know that that car is coming at you. When we run Adel with this car at SGMP, I'm typically dialed 1180s.
right?
I'm running 107 or so with that car. I've ran trucks as slow as 17, 18 seconds. So you're 8 seconds slower or faster than they are, and you're coming by them 50 miles an hour faster.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy.
it's one of those deals that it's an adrenaline rush on both sides. For me, I'd like to be in a fast car, but I've
Yeah.
done it on both ends.
Yeah.
You know, I've raced.
You almost feel like you stole something when you have the slow car too,
Well,
because you're just like, you don't expect
it's
it.
like that's what you get. You know,
Yeah.
you slacked off because you're running a street car and it bit you.
Yep.
But,
Well, I said,
but we-
thank you, sir,
look,
for
we run
for
Gainesville.
walking
We
through
run
here and everything.
anytime y'all out and
Well, we're down I'm down in Fort
Bradenton.
Myers, so you guys have my card.
Yep.
So anytime, if you're down Bradenton, if you're in Gainesville, if you go to Immokalee, if you're going anywhere down
I'll
there,
give you a holler.
give me a
bro.
holler. We'll come up and we'll take some
Especially if
video.
my buddy comes and we take 2 or 3 cars. It's
Yeah.
just neat to see it.
Yeah, we'll throw a camera in with
Put a GoPro
facing
in,
your
yeah.
daughter if you want. If she wants to.
Oh boy, she eat it up.
So yeah, we'll
See,
put
my daughters are.
we'll put it in front of your face. We'll just put one there. We'll mount 1 or 2 in the car.
Don't
and
scare everybody.
So
But
you
now
know.
my daughter and them, all 3 of my daughters, we did pageants.
Okay.
So racing's a lot cheaper,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's what I tell
And
her.
it's
so
less competitive.
well, I don't know. It is pretty tough on the racing side too. They're pretty competitive.
So. well,
My youngest one has won when she had her junior. We bought it 6 weeks later after she drove it 3 or 4 times. She had her own money, so we went to a race, and I left all my stuff at home. We went to SGMP. We was only running 1 race because that's how much money she had. So we ran
Yep.
the race. She ended up winning. It was a 2 races in 1 day
right.
for the juniors. She entered the 2nd race, ended up winning the 2nd race.
Wow.
So
Then she's hooked.
5 races into it, maybe she won 2 races in 1 day. You know how many people can say that?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's been real and it's been fun. That's
Cool.
what I tell her.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
This is so that was pretty awesome. Dallas is an awesome guy. We did not go over to where the 55 Chevy is or where the street rods were because I believe that gentleman is not home and we don't want to go over there. It is the week of Christmas and people are traveling. But meeting Dallas and seeing that was a prize. That is a barn find right there. I don't care if people know about it, but to me, pulling up to a house and suddenly having those cars being there, that is ridiculous. That is crazy. So that is that right there was almost worth the drive. Anyway, so now you see how that gets done. We just keep stopping and asking and stopping and asking and stopping and asking. And that's what we do. So let's go see, let's start heading back down to Florida and seeing what else we can find So we're gonna head back to Tifton, and it's only 3:46. So that was absolutely cool. We're gonna find all kinds of things. We're definitely gonna be stopping and seeing some more things. So stay tuned. And look, the clouds went away. So now, at least for the next hour or so, it's 3:47. So next hour or so, still be light out. Probably get back to Florida, and then we will discover more stuff. Came up a day late and $1 short on the junkyard, but this is an epic failure in one way. I mean, we did get to see some stuff, but I think it's also a showing of how could we find a place that is in the middle of nowhere, literally, and the only thing we had to go on was a sign that said scrap metal and old cars along the side of the road in a road in Georgia that went somewhere between I-75 and Alabama. And with the help of a ton of people, we found it. And then we found a really, really cool guy that we would have never found in Dallas, and saw all those amazing cars he has. So at the end of the day, it was my 1,100 mile failure because I got to drive home. And believe me, that's a long drive for one day. Leave at 7:30, drive almost, 550 miles, do some video for an hour, turn around and drive 550 miles home. We have the rest of the week. Maybe we'll go up to Daytona. We'll do some other things. We'll go find some other places after this front comes through. It is the week of Christmas. And so Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you for watching. And now you have an insight into, sometimes you guys just see those 15-minute videos, but sometimes those 15-minute videos take a little bit longer to produce than you think. Anyway, thank you. Please subscribe. Please, if you like, put a comment down. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell. So this is what I do. And a lot of you guys have been with me since day one. Next week, December 28th, is our very first anniversary. The first anniversary of this channel. So thanks again. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, or holiday, or whatever you celebrate. And I'll see you next time. April, should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.